"Sir, can you bury my sister?" The little boy's voice cracked as he stood trembling at the gates of a grand estate. His eyes were swollen from tears, his tiny hands clutching a bundle of cloth. Inside that bundle lay the body of his baby sister, lifeless and wrapped in love, the way only a brother could manage. Asterisk, the guard at the gate froze. Guests at the millionaire's mansion whispered. Who was this child, ragged and barefoot, daring to stand at the doors of unimaginable wealth with such a heartbreaking plea? But inside, by the window, stood Charles Whitmore, the millionaire himself, watching. And what he did next stunned everyone. Charles had built his empire with stone hands and iron will. To the world, he was ruthless, unshakable, untouchable. They saw the mansions, the cars, the power. But what they didn't see was the wound he carried in silence. Years earlier, he had lost his own daughter, a tragedy that no amount of money could erase. Her laughter haunted the empty halls of his estate. Her absence echoed louder than any fortune dot, so when he heard the boy's words, "Sir, can you bury my sister?" his heart cracked open. The boy's name was Samuel. His family lived in the slums beyond the city, where hunger was a daily visitor and loss was no stranger. His sister, Mary, had fallen ill, too weak, too fragile to survive. Their parents had no money for doctors, no land for burial. In desperation, Samuel had carried her in his arms for miles, his tears mixing with the dust of the road, until he reached the gates of the richest man he knew. He hadn't come for gold. He hadn't come for bread. He came for dignity, for his sister to be laid to rest with honor. The guests at Charles's mansion scoffed. Send him away. He doesn't belong here. This is no place for beggars. But Charles stepped forward, silencing them with a single glance. His shoes echoed across marble floors as he descended the steps and walked straight to the boy. Kneeling down, Charles placed a hand on Samuel's shoulder. "Show me your sister," he whispered. The boy unwrapped the cloth, revealing the still, peaceful face of the little girl. Gasps rose from the onlookers. Some turned away. Others shook their heads. But Charles did not move. His hand trembled as memories of his own child flashed before him. The toys she once held, the laughter that once filled his home, the silence that had swallowed it all. Tears burned his eyes. For the first time in years, the untouchable millionaire wept. He stood tall, his voice steady. She will not be buried in the shadows. She will rest in honor, and then the unthinkable happened. Charles ordered his staff to prepare the family's private cemetery, a place reserved for generations of his wealthy bloodline. Marble headstones glistened in rows, flowers bloomed in careful symmetry. And now, among them, would rest a little girl from the slums lay, to rest not with shame, but with dignity. Samuel clung to his hand as pallbearers carried the tiny body to the grounds. The boy's tears flowed, but for the first time, they were mixed with relief. At the graveside, Charles spoke words that shook every soul present. We measure wealth in gold, but true wealth is compassion. This boy came here with nothing but love for his sister. And love is worth more than every fortune I own. The crowd, once dismissive, now stood in silence, their arrogance dissolved. Some wept, some bowed their heads. All of them knew they were witnessing something greater than riches, humanity. When the last flower was laid on Mary's grave, Charles turned to Samuel. "You will not walk this road alone. From this day forward, you are under my care." The boy's eyes widened, his lips trembling. He didn't understand at first, but Charles meant every word. He took Samuel in, gave him food, clothes, education, and a future. For Charles, it was not charity. It was redemption. He could never bring back his daughter, but he could honor her memory by saving another child. Years later, Samuel would stand as a grown man beside that same grave, flowers in his hand, gratitude in his heart. And beside him stood Charles, not as a millionaire flaunting wealth, but as a father who had rediscovered the meaning of love.